Hi, thanks for watching. I am the author K.N. Robertson of Exposing Lesser Demons. And in this week in Writing with Robbie, it went all right. It went all right. Yeah. Today we got 30 minutes of writing, but it was a great 30 minutes. I got a lot of things in order for the beginning chapters, 999, yes. And I feel like things are really flowing, really moving now. Oh, and since today is Monday, I should update you. Saturday, I wrote for 2 hours, and oh my God, that was great because I actually got a full chapter roughly done. And I discovered, though, that it's not going to work how I thought. I thought I was going to put half of that chapter in the next book and the other half of that chapter in the third book, but it just felt better to put the whole thing in the third book. So I am writing. Now I just need to focus on writing for the book that is supposed to come out next. So it's going well, though, for real. I think I know the first few chapters now, and yeah, I still have a lot to do, though. So I'm gonna get to work, and I will see you guys soon. Leaving early today, so lots to do, but we did get 20 minutes of writing, and then I got really sad because I had to leave for work. So the good news is we're in there, we're locked in there, head in the game. It's getting good, it's getting juicy, we're having a ball. I should just leave it right there because that's all manifesting. So I'll see y'all soon. Hi guys. So today is awesome. What's crazy, this is the one day I did not hit snooze. I got straight up out of bed, 4 a.m., took a shower, then I lotioned, deodorized, and got back in the bed. Like, what was the point? So I still only got 30 minutes of writing today, but again, it was one of those moments of like, that was only 30 minutes. So I need way more time still, but I'm like, maybe I can squeeze out 30 more minutes tonight. I'm not sure because I also have to go grocery shopping and I have to cook. However, things are still really flowing. There is one section that I'm still stuck on, but that's because I don't know where I'm going to place the notes. So I just zoomed ahead to where I believe the story starts, and I've been working from that segment of notes. And I've got like the first few chapters sort of outlined, and it's still going well even now, which I live for, because I was like, I'm not sure if this order is going to work, but it's still working. Yesterday I had to get an oil change before work, which ended up being like the perfect place for me to read a little bit. So I did some reading. The notes that I made in the book, I'm like, I'm gonna need to let that spiral out into something before I publish. So there is a lot of book work to still do. I'm blocking the speaker, aren't I? But anyway, there's still a lot of book work to do. And then I met my friend at the library on Thursday, and I just kind of like let the conversation flow naturally, so we ended up not doing any studying. But I still want to keep that on the books because it is highly motivating for both of us. So I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna either spend more time at the library by myself because we're not gonna be there together every week, or I'm gonna have to fit reading in somewhere. And I don't take a lunch break at work because there's so much to do at work, but I'm getting better at that job even. So I'm like, maybe I'll start taking my lunches and reading there. I have completely abandoned the desire to write at work because it's not faster, and my work just feels more secure on this device versus in the sort of like the cloud, I guess. But yeah, I have a lot of writing to do and a lot of reading to do, and the good news is it's flowing so well. I just hope it's enough time-wise. So, I'm not going to dwell on it because I still feel really optimistic. Yeah, I am going to head to work because I do want to read today, and then I'll just keep updating you guys, let you know like what my timeline has shifted to. I can't talk too much about the timeline, but ideally I can update you on that sometime this summer. So yeah, keep watching, stay tuned. Alright, so today I am going to do my best to drive while recording because the sun is right here. Not ideal. So today has been an awesome start. My lip gloss is already on, so I'm on time. I am going to take you guys with me because I do want to chat a little bit. I'm going to try to keep it short. Having your notes in order obviously is way superior to the opposite. I'm glad I organized everything because everything has been so helpful. So I'm glad I went through it, is what I should say. I sincerely thought that I was going to be late today because the writing was flowing so well at one point. I timed it, so it was like, yeah, the sun is still directly in my face, so I'm hoping that moving helps that for the video. Excuse me. But yeah. Anyway, the writing was flowing so well that I figured I might end up being late today. And it worked out that I wasn't. I mean, that I'm not. I'm on time. But the first half hour, I was just like, dude, like, because again, it felt longer than a half hour. Because I was in the flow state. I was just going, like, time it wasn't really a factor. So as I'm flowing, I'm just like, oh man, I'm gonna be late because I can't stop. Like this, I have to get this note out. So I got those ideas out. But I'm just like, I'm glad it worked out that was in the front half of my writing session rather than the latter, because I mean, the first 30 minutes, because I only wrote about 12 more minutes. So I wrote 40, I don't know if I said, I wrote about 42 or 43 minutes. And I just wanted more. And like even the next part, I had like some words in big bold letters so I could easily know, oh, this is the chapter when this happens. And I read it and I was like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going to put that. So I didn't want to stop. Like they're in order, but now I'm getting like they're in a general order. Like I know this needs to happen in the beginning, but now I'm knowing exactly when moments are going to happen. So then I'm going to try to write it in the next draft. I'm going to try to write it in the style and language as I want it to be, and then the draft after that, I'm going to really hone in on the dialogue and making sure all of my characters have a different, unique voice and perspective, and putting that in their language, while also making sure that every line of dialogue progresses the story, like no fluff or nutter, okay? It sounds like how many more drafts? 3. And I don't have a lot of time to do it in with the deadline that I want to do. So yeah, I do want more time writing. That's the other thing I wanted to say. Okay, I'm gonna say this too, and then I'm gonna go. But I wanted to say that I almost wrote last night because I really was like, you know what? Let me see if I can naturally get that extra half hour that I wanted last night in there. And I just got so close to getting ready for bed and then writing and then going to bed. Like everything was set up, and then I just ended up not doing it at the last moment because I wanted to make sure I got enough sleep, and then I slept in a little later. So I'm just like, okay, I can't, it's easier to convince myself in the evening stay up an extra 30 minutes, but it's also difficult for me to convince myself at the end of the day to sleep in later the next day. That doesn't become easy until the next day. But what I'm trying to say is I can feel like I also felt a sense of like the days are getting longer, or they're beginning to. It's almost daylight savings where we're going to spring forward an hour. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I am very nearly like my energy feels like the day is not over. And if I have more energy to do any more work, there's only one thing that I need to be doing, and that's writing. Okay, I could also read alternatively. But yeah, I'm trying to get myself used to the natural progression. Like I can't just say I'm gonna write at night and then just do it and feel good. So I want to do it in a way that it feels good, and I'm getting very close to that because I feel the energy changing. So you may have watched my Black Author Tube questionnaire video or whatever. I'll try to tag it here. But if you watch that, there was a question, what is the best time of year for me to write? Like, what is my favorite time of year to write? And I was torn between fall and spring, and I talked on and on about that, only for the short answer to be spring. Because the energy, like, you can literally feel, like, if you go outside in the evening and that sun is still shining as it's setting, oh God, I'm so pretty, oh my Lord. Oh, my Lanta. Why, hello. But anyway, I'm not me catching myself off guard. Anyway, yeah. Stupid. But anyway. So yeah, as the sun is setting, you get like an extra burst of energy because you're like, the day is almost done, but it's not done. So I was feeling that, and I was like, if I hadn't have picked food that will not be good after it gets cold, I would just write and then eat. But no, I was like, no, I'm gonna eat and then write, which is better because I'd like to have 3 hours after I eat before I go to bed. But I don't do that because I only eat right when I get off work. But I did get off time early yesterday too. So if I start getting off early, I think I'm gonna be able to get off on time a lot more going forward. After yesterday, like, I learned so much. The woman who was teaching me in Newport News, not Newport News, Lord, don't take me back to those days. No, I'm just joking. When I was commuting to Springfield to learn more, I learned so much more. And then that woman came down, taught us even more, and helped us get through some things that were behind. Like, it's just, everything is in a flow state. So I don't want to take more time from work because I'm happy, like, I'm satisfied with my income to bill ratio. Everything is so aligned. And I do want more time to write, but really I want to be more. I do a lot of stuff. Like, on Saturday and Sunday, yes, there is some watching TV, but it's usually because I'm eating, and then I'm trying not to fall asleep. So I end up taking sometimes, like, Sunday, I think I took an hour nap, but then when I got up, it felt like I started my day over, and I had new energy to write again, to read again, to do language lessons. Like, it was like I got twice as much done because I stopped to take an hour nap. But I just plan to do it. Sometimes on Saturday, I just, like, after I eat, I fall asleep because that's the only time I'm going to eat today. So I ate so much food, and now, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just listening to my body. I'm listening to what it needs. And I'm seeing that I don't want to take that time from work because I like what I make. And if I take another day off from work, I don't make that money. So maybe I'll do some PTO to finish my book, which I have done before for Exposing Lesser Demons. But in general, I want to be working my Monday through Friday 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Like, it's beneficial for the practice. It's beneficial for me. So I've been really enjoying that. But maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to do or what'll be different. Except I want to get, like, the writing is the priority. I will be probably naturally writing at least 30 minutes in the evening soon. I definitely am having even more fun. Like, I thought I was enjoying finishing that document, but it did kind of get a little tedious because some of the notes repeated themselves because it was out of order, so I would have to repeat things to remind myself. But it's not like that anymore because I've organized those notes. I'm seeing things in order, and if it is tedious, it's like right back to back to back to back. So I'll just have placed that, and then I can just delete the next one, and it's going so fast. And then the next step after I do what I'm doing, like, I'm getting things in a sharper order. So next, all I have to do is expand that into narration and dialogue. And the dialogue doesn't even have to be perfect until the final draft. So it's just, everything is so sweet, and I can just see the flow going faster and faster. I was making sexy eyes at my writing because I was like, oh, that's what we doing. Oh, that's what we on. Oh, okay, I got something for you. Like, my writing was that fun to me today. It was sexy, okay? It was just sexy how the dots were connecting. I don't know. I didn't do a dedicated review video for the 100,000 Kingdoms, but, like, yeah, if that book was a person, we would be on and popping. I'm just saying. On that note, to add to that, oh yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm just kind of like I told y'all last video, I was interested in this guy and we were talking, but, you know, such is life for him that we're both just in agreement that now's not a good time to pursue that. But he's still cool. I'm still gonna be happy to see him, things like that, blah blah blah. But it just made me like, like after a couple days of thinking about that, I'm just like, maybe modesty and celibacy, like last year my fashion was like embracing myself. So there was a lot of showing skin, and I'm very proud of that, because that's not something that I've done in my life a lot. And now I'm in a state of like, I'm feeling more modest in a lot of ways, and I'm surrounded by modest women from other cultures. And I do think there's a modesty in how I did things, because again, I was embracing myself. So you see what you want to see, you project onto that what you want to, but really what's happening is like a self-love. I'm finally able to do these things within myself. But I've always been a kind of cover myself up, and there is more than just feeling like I have to, because I wasn't happy with how I was looking. It's also, I do like dressing in modest ways, and I get shown modest fashion. I like switching it up, but right now I'm in my season of modesty, and I'm like, let's wear more clothes. How cool would that be? And like even covering my hair, I always say like, it looks good without the scarf or the hat, but I like it. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like I'm keeping it low key. I'm not doing too much. And I think I want to let that also seep into the celibacy that I so often pursue. I'm in and out of celibacy for like long periods of time, mostly in celibacy. And I have embraced that several times, and I'm just also not wanting to talk. Like, I mean, obviously I want to talk, but I don't want to really go further. Like, I just noticed that he would want to call me, and I would love that. I would get so excited. But I was like, I've been thinking all day about coming to eat this karage and watch The Walking Dead. And I have to right now let myself be more excited about speaking to this person who I like. Like, we like each other. I think he's excellent to talk to. So it was like a pleasure, but it just wasn't my plan. Or even like, sometimes he would call even later and I should be asleep. And I really value my sleep. But I also value that conversation, and I am very busy and I don't have time. So it was just like, it's got to be on point 100%, or I got to cut it off, because I'm not going to let it affect my writing. I have enough other factors affecting that. And it's not like I'm shutting that part of my life out. I'm just saying it's got to be a good distraction, baby. And I think he's terrific. But if I think he's terrific and he doesn't think he's terrific, well, that's not really the connection that either one of us wants. And I've been there, not thinking myself terrific, but I have arrived at knowing myself terrific, and I have to relearn that sometimes. I have to reapply that sometimes, because knowing it and walking in it is not the same thing. So let that be a message to somebody out there listening to this video. If you're listening to this video, that might be for you. But some days I can walk in it, and some days I can just know it, and some days I can't do either. But I'm walking in it more and more. I'm knowing it just about every day. Like today I caught myself off guard looking good. I almost wanted to holler at myself, baby. But maybe that's a sign for me that I need to be hollering at myself right now. But I'm really hollering at these pages because I'm so aroused by how great the writing is going. I'm genuinely satisfied and anointed to be anointed with this story. Like, Spirit is speaking through me. I don't know, but this story is storying. That car looks like Papa Smurf. It's a Jeep with a white top and a blue body. And I take that as a sign from the universe to find something delightful, find something to appreciate, find something to be cheerful about, even if it's not that deep, because it's not that deep, but it gave me a tickle. So yeah, and I just feel like, as wonderful as that person is, I gotta wait till they feel wonderful too, and I'm okay waiting on that, or not talking to somebody, or talking to somebody else, or talking to somebody I used to talk to, as I see another sign for that person. That is hilarious. For another person, not a specific person, but it could have been, that could have been about anybody. I'm just like, I'm not for everybody. I'm for one person, but I'm still trying to figure out who that person is. And I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm expecting for it to be obvious to me one day, and it's not obvious right now. But what is obvious is how in tune with myself I want to be, with higher energies that I want to be, and with my story I want to be. Because I was just thinking about, like I just told you, how many drafts I still need to do, and in a short amount of time. So I have to be comfortable with if it doesn't go to the time frame that I want, especially if I want to make that time frame. So I'm really just enjoying the one day at a time of it. I've been getting a significant amount done, but it's not enough. So maybe, like, it's not like how it's happening is satisfying me, but the time I'm putting into it isn't per se satisfying me. But watch that make me do more on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm saying that right now. Shoot, I might even add Friday night. So, because I've been thinking about that the last week at least. And then since I almost wrote like that last night, but I was like, oh, I need to get up. Well, it sounds like we need to be writing on Friday night now. So instead of thinking about who might take me out on Friday night, because nobody, let's be real, let's keep it a buck. Everybody talking, ain't nobody showing up, so what's good? So that's just all the more reason for me to be in my bag, be enjoying the creation of the story. I can see my book covers, and every time I sit down at that writer's table, I remember who I am, because baby, these stories be storying, okay? Because I'm still, like, as I write book 2, I'm knowing what's gonna happen in book 3, and I gotta move my phone. So see you guys soon. So today is Friday. I think I wrote every day this week, and I am in a flow. So I'm already plotting on tomorrow. It's looking like we getting up, light breakfast, getting right to it. We might not even eat breakfast, because baby, these pages is turning. They turning, baby, they turning. So it looks like I have about 513 pages left, give or take, before I can even start another draft. But that's not feeling like a lot this time because of the flow state. I'm just like, I do want, what do I want? Obviously more time to write. However, since I'm plotting on my biggest writing day, and I've written every day this week, I'm feeling really good about that. Like, things are flowing. So yeah, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and head to work, and we'll see what we turn out tomorrow. As you have probably noticed in the last few weeks, I don't really record on Saturdays because I'm locked in. And if I'm not locked in, I'm not trying to stop to record about it. So Saturday, that's the writing day. Sunday, we're going to try to make something shake for that too, because this video isn't too long this week. It's longer than last week's though, so it shouldn't take me too long to edit. I might knock this out tomorrow before I even get out of bed. So it's giving productivity. It's giving spring is here, and I'm sprung on my story. Okay, yes, thank you. See you later. Peace. Oh gosh. All right, bros, I am so tired. Let me tell you how I went this weekend. Friday night, I did not write. I'm not surprised at all. I wanted to, but I was like, or I could go to bed at a decent time. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, is that a real blue heron or is that a statue? I'm pretty sure it's a statue, but anyway, because there's like water over there, so I'm tripping. Anyway, Saturday, I wrote an hour and a half, and it was so hard for me to get that hour and a half. First 45 minutes, I was like, yes, this is what I've been wanting. This is popping. This is good. And that was obviously after I had showered and washed my hair and blah, blah, blah. Or was it before? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I got that first 40, and it was easy. And then I was like, okay, if I can do another hour, that would be lit. I could not. I did an hour and a half, but it was like very difficult to do much more than that. For two reasons. One, Saturday is like the day that if I don't have anything other than anything other than writing planned, I will allow myself to go to bed, right? Or like, to relax. I need one day completely off. That would be so lit. But I don't want to push everything till Sunday, and I got to edit my video. And I was thinking about doing that yesterday, but I was like, no, because if I edit, it's gonna make me want to get up and write, which sounds like a good thing, but I was like, I think I need to save that for Sunday. I don't know, long story, whatever. Keeping it brief, because I have some errands I need to run real quick. Keeping it brief, I got myself, the other reason why it was harder to write yesterday is because I wrote myself, like, okay, so you remember I told you the other day, Friday morning, it was really popping, everything was flowing, it was going super well. I was surprised that it was going that well, because I told you previously, probably unless I edited it out, that I have all these places where there's going to have to be so many flashbacks, and I want to do that in a creative way and not bog the beginning of the story down with flashbacks that feel like flashbacks. It needs to feel like the natural order of things, and I could do it in order of the way it happened, but then it feels like I'm info dumping. So I want to wait until it's interesting to say certain things, which makes it a flashback. And then I'm like, okay, but where am I going to do all these flashbacks? Because I can't do this all at once, all on top of each other, but I don't want to have so many flashbacks either. So I'm doing the best I can to figure out how I'm going to put that in the story, and it's very difficult. So sleeping on it and getting back up today, I've already written an hour for today, but it's really time for me to eat and do my errands. I need to put air in my tire, so on and so forth. So, and I have to go to bed early because I have to get up early so I can write before work tomorrow. And I don't want to take another day off from work. Like, I might, like I said, do some PTO, but I don't want to change my schedule because I like my income. My bills are paid. I was able to send my mother some money. You know what I mean? So I don't want to change my routine so that, because like then if I like think about it, if I take Mondays off, then I'm going to sleep in, and maybe I will allow myself to write, but I'm probably not going to write for the full day unless it's like a rare thing, like I take PTO, which I've done that before. I took a full week off, went out of town and did nothing but write and cook and wash dishes and eat. And every night I got in the hot tub, but I only allowed myself to get in the hot tub if I wrote all day. So I wrote all day so I could get in the hot tub for a half hour at night and then go to bed and get up and do it again, only taking breaks to eat. Yeah. So that is something I could do again, but I don't want to use all of my PTO for the year yet. Because that's something I would probably want to do closer to, like, okay, now it's time to get cover art or final draft, something that's going to help me around crunch time. But the whole time is crunch time if I want my book out this year. So I'm like, I don't really know when the best time for me to work this all out is, because I don't want to burn myself out. And that's why on Saturdays, if I need to, I will let myself have a few hours to do nothing. And last Sunday, I took a nap. Like I wrote, I think, I would have to watch the previous video to find out for sure, but I think I wrote, and then I took a nap, and then I got up and I wrote again. So if I take a nap, it's like I restarted my whole day. I'm more likely to get some more writing done. Because after I eat, it can get difficult for me to let myself do the writing again, because then I have to go back over to where my computer is and set up again, and sometimes it's just hard to get back into that mode. But the good news is today I sort of think I figured out how some more of these flashbacks are gonna go. Some of them make perfect sense. I'm like, this is the perfect place for this. But then there's others, and I'm like, where the heck am I gonna put this? And I think I figured out where 2 more flashback moments are gonna go. And I also don't want to focus too much on this character who is not the main character. Like, I'm not even gonna say his name. If you read Exposing Lesser Demons, you know who I'm talking about. But he's not the main character, and yet he is our bridge from Exposing Lesser Demons to this next book that I keep almost saying the title, to this next book. So if he's the bridge, that means he's going to be in a lot of the beginning of it. And we're following his story, his narrative. And I don't want to get stuck talking about him for the whole first portion of the book, even though there's really not much else to talk about other than this character for the first portion of the book. So I don't know. I just feel like the beginning of this book energetically is not going how I want it to go. But if I can figure out these flashbacks, I will know the order a little better, so I can move things around a little better. I don't know. So it's not going bad. It's going okay. I want more though, because that energy I had on Friday, like everything was just, it was so delicious. I was eating it up. It was giving, it was giving what it needed to have been given. You know what I'm saying? It was giving what it needed to give. And, sorry, I'm pretty sure it's a bird statue, but it's tripping me out. But anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely going to keep aiming to write before work every day, even though it's been difficult because I still feel stuck at this early parts of the book. But once I get through this, everything else, I'm pretty sure once I get to a certain point, there's like a certain checkpoint after all the flashbacks have been said and done and the coven is together. Can I even say that? Yeah, I think I can say that. So the coven is together, and then they happen upon another character at a certain location, and once they get to that location, everything else either is already figured out, or it's so open that I could just write anything and it will be fine. Like, there's more detailed segments that I don't have any notes for, like nothing. So I can feel free to fill in this world on a whim. So that's where I will be pantsing, so to speak, writing by the seat of my pants, versus everything else, which is plotted out, and including these parts that, like, right now I'm working on things that are already pre-plotted. I just don't know where they go, and soon I will be at a point where I know the plot, I know where it's going, and there's some segments where I can write by the seat of my pants and just kind of be like, I think this is what I want, and if I don't, I'll just change it later. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, I like to think that I'm further ahead than I am. This is still kind of a rough draft. I'm still considering it a first draft, but I decided I don't want to even share any of this with my cousin at this point, until maybe the next draft, which is okay, because that's kind of what I did for Exposing Lesser Demons, which turned out incredible. So I'm still trusting the process. I'm trusting myself. I'm trusting that I will just have enough time, and I would like to write some more today, but I don't want to overwhelm myself too much. So I'm going to wrap this up here by saying, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. Rather, if you made it to this point in the video, just give me a like because you're still here, okay? Give me a comment, something encouraging if you don't mind. If you think somebody can utilize this video to help them with their accountability, share it with them. But please do subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to know when I will be back, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Oh, and check out Exposing Lesser Demons, because what are you waiting for? It's a fantasy should read. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, bye. Visit knrobertson.com for merch, more social media, and your copy of Exposing Lesser Demons.